Hi guys, welcome to another Living in SA TV podcast slash entrepreneurial essay. Today we are going to meet Richard de Souza, which is the CEO and founder behind Altcoin Trader, and we will know the inception of the company and we will learn a little bit more about cryptocurrency in South Africa. So stay tuned because this video once again will blow your mind. Hi everyone, welcome to another Living in SA Entrepreneurial Podcast. Today we have an amazing guest. His name is Richard Souza and he is the founder behind Altcoin Trade. Hi Richard, how are you?
Morning, David. I'm very well. Thanks very much for having me on the show. I really appreciate this opportunity to share my passion with you and your viewers.
So let's do the questions. But first of all, let's know a little bit of Richard's background. So Richard de Souza, CEO and founder of Altcoin Trader. Altcoin Trader was developed by experienced computer programmer Richard de Souza in 2014. As an early adopter of Bitcoin, de Souza says he wanted to bring cryptocurrency to the local South African community, as buying cryptocurrencies from any exchange overseas was difficult and cumbersome. And so he decided to build his own platform in order to make crypto available to the everyday South African. Bringing crypto to the local South African community has always been de Souza's dream. This is quite inspirational. I must say, Richard, congratulations for what you achieved and what you built.
David, thanks very much. Cryptocurrency has always been my passion. It is something that I am extremely excited about. So once again, always glad to share my views on crypto.
That's good to know. By the way, guys, I will leave the links to Richard's YouTube channel. He has a very good YouTube channel where you guys can learn about crypto. So I will advise you guys to go to the video description and visit the channel and learn about cryptocurrency. Don't forget to follow him. And let's go to the questions. And by the way, congratulations for your courage to do a YouTube channel and speak about your business and your passion.
Thanks very much, David.
Okay, so question number one. Please tell us the story of the inception of Altcoin Trade.
David, this was late 2012 when I first started getting involved in cryptocurrency. When I was first told about Bitcoin, I actually thought that this was a scam, this was a pyramid scheme. I wasn't very impressed. But what I needed a payment system for an online shop, which I was busy building. I had a company called Netspace, and we used to provide online shops. So I went and I did a bit of research about cryptocurrency, about Bitcoin, and just generally what was happening in the space. And as I said, initially, I thought it was a scam. I wasn't very interested. But I basically started with a couple of hours on YouTube. That turned into a weekend. That turned into a week. And shortly after that, I realized that cryptocurrencies was going to change the world as we know it. I was absolutely blown away because never before in my entire life had I found something that was so exciting. It was an alternative financial system. And I think the thing that got me super excited initially was that I realized even back in 2012 that this was the first time that us as a human species, we had found a currency that was going to be deflationary. In other words, if you saved this currency, you would be rewarded for saving it. You know, traditionally and going back as far as you can see, if you had any type of fiat currency or money and you saved it, you were punished. Because of inflation, simply put, you could buy less. The longer you saved your money, the less it was worth. And Bitcoin was different. And that's what initially got me excited about Bitcoin. So from thinking it was a scam and a Ponzi scheme, I thought this was a revolution. And I started telling everyone about it. I started trying to buy Bitcoin. It was a very, very difficult process, especially in South Africa.
Let's go to the second question. In simple terms, what Altcoin Trader does?
Altcoin Trader is a cryptocurrency exchange. We have over 20 cryptocurrencies that are available for the public to buy. Now, it's important to understand that we facilitate the buying and selling of cryptocurrencies. We don't actually sell cryptocurrencies ourselves. So we are a place where a buyer and a seller can come together and they can exchange cryptocurrencies. We're one of the top 3 exchanges in South Africa, And really, we actually finally launched our platform in 2015. I initially started the coding and the programming of the platform in 2013. The project took a lot longer than I anticipated, but finally 2015 came to market, and almost instantly Altcoin Trader was a huge success. We onboarded a lot of customers, and we could see that the appetite in South Africa was massive. People knew about cryptocurrencies. People wanted to get involved, even back in 2015. And as I said, the rest is history.
Very good. I'm curious, how many users at the moment do you have in your platform?
On our platform at the moment, and I speak under correction, we've got a little over 500,000, so a little over 500,000 active users.
Wow, that's quite impressive. Okay.
And when I say active users, maybe I need to qualify that. You know, guys will sometimes they'll buy and trade, and then they'll go offline for a couple of months, and they'll come back. You know, having an account with Altcoin Trader can be compared to having a savings account or a bank account. Once you have that account and you have assets, you always retain that. So you can come in, you can take a break for a couple of months, you can come back, your funds will always be safe, your funds will always be there.
Very good. How many people do you employ at the moment in your company?
David, at this stage, we've got just under 40 full-time staff members. We also have 4 or 5 contractors that we use on a daily basis. Our full complement is about 45 people that are behind Altcoin Trader, and that is what is keeping the wheels turning.
Wow, incredible. Okay, so what gives you more pleasure in the work you develop?
David, that was something that I realized back in 2014. You know, there's a famous saying that says, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But I got to a place where I was very low financially. I was really battling. And, you know, the traditional financial system, as it does to so many South Africans and so many people all over the world, it really is difficult to actually make ends meet. I got to a point where I was really devastated. And I just decided that my passion and what I'm going to do now is bring cryptocurrency to South Africa, right? I didn't realize that it was going to be so lucrative at the time. It was more about a mission and a goal and a plan that I had. I could see that cryptocurrency was going to be an alternative financial system. You know, over my lifetime, I've been watching every single aspect of our lives turn digital, whether it's photography, whether it's videos, whether it's the way we get entertained, the way we communicate, everything is going digital. And at some stage, everyone's going to realize that finances are not going to be excluded. So when I sort of came to terms with this and understood the magic of Bitcoin, and that for the first time ever, we didn't need to have a middleman. We didn't need to have a bank. We could be controlling our own finances and be the master of our own destiny. I just wanted to bring this technology to the people. And once that was done, it was amazing. Just every day, I really am passionate about what I do. I love my job. It's something that I do because I believe that it needs to be done. It's a purpose and a passion that I have, so I don't really consider it work.
Perfect. Okay, next question. Tell us about Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is the first currency that I believe allows you to take power back from institutions, from banks, and from governments. Now, I don't say that in a negative way, because a lot of people ask me, are you a libertarian? Are you against governments? No, I'm not against governments. I believe that we need to have governments, we need to have authority, we need to have a police force, we need to have an army. These are essential factors in society. But if you go back many, many years, we got to a stage in the human existence where we had to separate church from government, because the church was controlling everything. They were saying that the voice of God had told them this and that. And it got to a stage where the church had a ridiculous amount of power. And once again, I have nothing against the church. I believe that there is a space in society for church, but we needed to separate the powers. And now we have got to a stage where we need to separate government and finance, because government has ultimate power to make sometimes good decisions, but sometimes very bad decisions because of the financial power that they have behind them. So a natural evolution of the human species would be to separate this so that we have a government that can serve and protect us, as opposed to a government that can wield power over us just because they have the finances. So I don't think that this is going to happen in our lifetime, but we need pioneers. We need people that start this process, that we can have a government that is fair, that goes to the polls and is elected, not because of their financial power, but because what they can do, how they can serve the community. So I know I've sort of gone a long way around this, but I think it's imperative in my explanation of what cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is. For the first time, I can transact with you without a middleman, which means we can cut out the bank, we can cut out the authorities, and not for negative or nefarious reasons, but for positive reasons, so that we know that we've got a currency that is valuable, that will continue to gain value, and we have sole custody. In other words, we are in full control of our wealth. And then just to reiterate, obviously, with Bitcoin, the value increases over time, as opposed to fiat or rand, where the value decreases in time. Having rand is a bit like having water in a bucket with a hole. It's leaking out and you will have less and less. Having Bitcoin is a bit like having the tap that fills the bucket. You just need to keep it and it will continue to grow. So Bitcoin, for the first time, in summary, is something where we don't need a middleman. It is a currency that everyone understands the rules. And most importantly, there's no barriers to entry. If you're a 2-year-old, you can have a Bitcoin address. You don't need to have an ID, a proof of residence. There's no one that will be excluded from this economy. You can go online, you can get a Bitcoin address within a couple of seconds, and you are included in the economy. It's fair, it allows everyone to participate and doesn't discriminate against anyone. Doesn't matter where you were born, who you are. If you have access to our online community or to the internet, you can participate in this amazing economy. That is just a couple of the things about Bitcoin. I mean, we could talk about that for hours and days, but I think for now, I'll just leave it at that.
And don't forget to check again Richard's YouTube channel to know more. We're just touching a little bit the surface, because this is, like Richard says, goes way deeper than this. But it's very interesting, and don't forget to watch it just to learn more. Okay, next question. Tell us what the blockchain is in simple terms.
In simple terms, the blockchain is one of the largest networks in the world. Okay, so it's based on the internet, but it's a network of computers that control the Bitcoin. So let me try and put it in simple words. If I send you 1 Bitcoin, we need to have a record of that. So we have miners on the blockchain that will take a record of me sending you 1 Bitcoin, and they will take that record and put it into a block. And that block is on thousands and thousands of computers all over the world. This is what gives Bitcoin its power. You see, a government can't come and just delete the server or delete the transaction that I did to you. That is now on a record in the blockchain in a block. And that blockchain is on thousands of computers. So a government or anyone wanting to take down the network, doesn't have to be a government, could be bad players. They cannot do so because these computers are distributed throughout the entire world, even to the point that we've now got satellites in space that are keeping record of the blockchain. So simply put, the blockchain is a distributed ledger of every single transaction that takes place on the Bitcoin network. This is to keep, accounting in place. It's to keep facts in place. It's to protect you and me, so that if I have 1 Bitcoin, you have 1 Bitcoin, no one can erase that. It's a very, very powerful mechanism. It's slow, but it's extremely secure. I think in a nutshell, that is what the blockchain is. Obviously, there's a lot of definitions online, but think of it as one of the strongest networks in the world, thousands of computers running it, and basically an advanced accounting system. Very well. Now, I love the way you explain it. You make it very in simple terms. Why the SA government doesn't let people send crypto to foreign exchanges? In South Africa, we've always had exchange controls long before cryptocurrency and Bitcoin came into play. Now, what has happened is that recently, and when I say recently as June 2021, the South African government put on their frequently asked questions that you were not allowed to send cryptocurrency to a foreign exchange. In other words, you're not allowed to send cryptocurrency out of South Africa, which at the surface looks like a good idea because, they're trying to keep the funds in South Africa. But when you take a deeper look, it's actually a terrible move by the South African government, because from a couple of exchanges in South Africa, we have got billions and billions of rands worth of cryptocurrency that has come into South Africa. And I think we all know that with Eskom's prices, because Bitcoin mining you need to use electricity, those cryptocurrencies were not mined in South Africa, which means that because we've opened business, because we've opened cryptocurrency business, we've had massive inflows into the South African economies. Now, the South African economy or the South African regulators have seen this, and they've decided that they are concerned that cryptocurrency is a way for funds to leave the country. My opinion is if you stop the outflow, you will stop the inflow. Cryptocurrency is like a river. If people know that they can freely transact, they will continue to send cryptocurrency. As I mentioned before, we've got billions of rands worth of cryptocurrency in South Africa. As soon as you stop the outflow, people are going to get spooked. People are going to get scared. And that money is going to start leaving the country, because obviously the very nature of cryptocurrency is that you have control. And if a government starts to try and restrict control, people are going to work a way around that. So it is something that myself, altcoin trader, and the larger exchanges are discussing with the regulators. And hopefully, for the good of the South African economy, we can get this ban lifted and we can continue to enjoy this massive investment into South Africa, into our economy. It is something new that's come up. The regulators really have a tough task because cryptocurrency is definitely not easy to regulate. Not only the South African regulators, but international regulators. So this is a space to be watched. I do try and keep people updated on my channel, but it's a difficult situation. A lot of unanswered questions at this stage.
In South Africa, we have various exchanges like Valer, Luno, and Cape Crypto, for example. How altcoin trader stands out from the competition?
David, that's a very interesting question, and a question that I'm going to answer in a way that a lot of people might not expect. Because of my passion about crypto and because of what I'm trying to achieve here, I don't really mind which exchange anyone uses. Guys, if I could give advice, cryptocurrency is something that you need to be involved in. Choose an exchange, a big exchange like the ones that David has just mentioned, because then at least you know you're going to be safe. But the most important thing is to get involved in cryptocurrency. Now, to answer your question more directly, David, and one of the reasons that I think altcoin trader has a bit of an edge over some of the other exchanges is, first of all, we have an amazing saving program. So before, cryptocurrencies was something you bought and you just hope that the price goes up. But in altcoin trader, you can put your cryptocurrencies into our saving wallet and you can earn up to 10% on some of those cryptocurrencies. So not only do you get the benefit of the cryptocurrency increasing in price, but you also earn more of that cryptocurrency. So the value is increasing, but the amount of cryptocurrency that you have is also increasing. That savings program allows you to take your cryptocurrency out. There's no fees. You can put it in and you can take it out. There's no holding periods. It's absolute freedom to save and to earn additional money. But also another thing that I should mention is altcoin trader not only does cryptocurrencies, we also allow our clients to buy gold and silver. And if you had to buy gold, once you've got an ounce of gold, you can withdraw that gold in the shape of a Kruger Rand. So let's say you were buying 200, 300 Rand a month, and over a course of a couple of years, you got to an ounce, you could say, give me my ounce, and we would actually send you via courier that Kruger Rand. And then if you wanted to trade that in and out of cryptos, you could use your gold, you could buy cryptos, you could switch it back to gold, you could switch it back to South African rands. So it gives you a lot more flexibilities. In the near future, and when I say near future, the next couple of weeks, altcoin trader is going to allow you to take loans against your cryptocurrency and against your gold. So this is important. Never before in the financial world have you been able to put gold up as collateral and get money instantly without having to talk to anyone, only doing it on a platform. So you'll be able to take loans. The reason that I always encourage loans is, guys, the way cryptocurrency is increasing in value, if you have a crisis or an emergency, it might be as simple as fixing your car, You sell your cryptocurrency, you fix your car, your cryptocurrency is gone. If you're able to loan against that cryptocurrency, fix your car, you can pay back the loan and get the cryptocurrency, which at that stage might have increased in value and be extremely valuable. So there's a lot of additional services that Altcoin Trader offers its clients. I also think that our services are one of the easiest to use. The interface is super user-friendly, and a lot of our clients really enjoy the fact that it's so simple to use. David, there's a lot more, but I'm going to, for the sake of time, just leave it at that for now.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for that, Richard. Okay, last question, and we need your entrepreneurship advice on this one. What is your personal advice to young South African entrepreneurs?
David, that's a question that has got many parts to it. So first of all, one of the most sought after jobs on LinkedIn in 2020 was blockchain developers. Now, what I've seen, a lot of people are saying, you know, I'm not a programmer, I'm a marketer, I'm a creative person. And I think that's because people think programming is difficult. So I would certainly say to any young person who doesn't really have any direction in their life and they're looking for something to do, start studying programming. Now, when I say that, I'm saying you don't have to necessarily go to a college or university. You can start doing self-study on YouTube. You can learn things. You can become a programmer. And if it's something that you enjoy, you can take it further and get official qualifications. I think the way that education is going these days, people are less concerned about official qualifications and more concerned about the ability of the candidate. I certainly know at Altcoin Trader, if someone is a good coder, we don't really care what qualifications they've got. We will do some tests with them and we'll get them on board. But that doesn't really speak to an entrepreneur. That speaks to more to a person that's looking for a career. But once you have the basic skills of being able to code, and coding is not that difficult, it's getting easier and easier. The world is your oyster. There are so many things. There are going to be so many financial services that are going to be able to be supplied. If we look at the banking sector, traditionally, the banking sector is the hugest sector in our economy. Now, if you are able to do some programming and even take a tiny fraction of that via the alternative financial system, via being able to code and offer a financial service, whether it's a loan, whether it's a place for people to earn interest, whether you just allow people to trade, whether you create a coin, there are so many opportunities that are going to be developing in the years to come. You know, I think all of the assets that we have are going to be tokenized. Houses, identity, what you own, what shares you own, it's all going to go onto the blockchain. So it's difficult to try and look at the opportunities for entrepreneurs at this stage. I was lucky, I built an exchange in the early days. I think right now it's quite difficult to build an exchange because you need to get people to trust you, you need to get people to get involved. And of course, it's a massive undertaking as far as coding goes. But there are going to be so many similar opportunities in the future. So for someone that's starting out thinking, what should I do? Step one, make sure that you are involved in the crypto world. Make sure that you understand it. Make sure that you have at least a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of Ethereum. Step two, start looking at some coding. Start looking at how it works under the hood, because there are going to be opportunities that right now I can't even think of, but there are going to be massive opportunities in the future in the cryptocurrency space. It is going to be an industry that is going to shake the very foundation of our existence.
How can people follow, of course, besides YouTube, where in other platforms can people find Altcoin Trader?
Altcoin Trader has a YouTube channel. It has a Twitter account. You know, if you go to our website, altcointrader.co.za, you will see all the social links on the site. David, I just want to say in closing, you know, a lot of people want to get involved in cryptocurrencies, but so many people think it's complicated and they're not sure where to start. And then another thing is a lot of people say, I don't have a lot of money and I'm not sure if I can afford to invest in cryptocurrencies. So I just want to clear that up very quickly. You know, if you go to a platform like ours, like Altcoin Trader, you can start with 100 Rand. You don't need to have a lot of money. 100 Rand would be enough to get you in, get you started with a little bit of Bitcoin or a little bit of Ethereum or any of the 20 cryptocurrencies we And then you could put in 100 Rand a month. But if you don't have 100 Rand a month, you could put in 100 Rand this month, skip 3 months, put in 100 Rand. It is all open and it's all investing for your future. So you have no restrictions. And if you want to withdraw that money, you're welcome to do so. So to clear up the thing that people think it's complicated, I'd like to say it is dead simple. It's super easy. Just try. You'll register. It's a free account. You'll be up and running within a couple of minutes. And you can start with as little as 100 Rand. And that doesn't have to be a month. It can be once off. It can be a month. You decide. The freedom is in your hands for investing. As I said, altcointrader.co.za, all of our social links are there. My channel's not on there, but I think my channel will be in the description below. Thank you so much for having me on your show, David. I'm always passionate and excited to be able to have the opportunity to share cryptocurrency on a channel, especially a channel that is as amazing as yours, that talks about South Africa, that talks about what we need to know in this country. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charles. It's only a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing knowledge, your passion. And you know what? Let's make this happen. Let's make the crypto dream happen. And that's the way to go. Anyway, guys, this was another amazing entrepreneurial essay podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. Comment down below, ideas, anything. Let us know. Richard will also have this video on his channel. So go for it. And I will see you in the next Living in SA TV, SA Entrepreneurial Podcast. And there you go, guys. This was another amazing podcast about crypto in South Africa. Anyway, I hope you guys put some ideas down below. Tell me what you guys want to see next. Smash, share, and like. Destroy the like button and the subscription button, of course. And I will see you in the next SA Entrepreneurial Podcast.